In 1783, the Founding Fathers gathered to determine the Constitution for this great land, the United States of America. What would it look like? What would it be? A democracy, a republic? What else could there be? And they struggled and they fought with much strife and contention. After 5 weeks of debate and no progress, the very wise Ben Franklin stood among them to remind them of the hand of providence that they had sought all through the American Revolution, and how so many times God had delivered them with miraculous deliverances. And yet here they were gathered now without even asking Him for His input. I want to tell you a little bit of what he had to say. He began with, God governs in the affairs of men. And if a sparrow cannot fall to the ground without His notice, is it probable that an empire can rise without His aid? We have been assured in the sacred writings that except the Lord build, they labor in vain that build it. I firmly believe this. I also believe that without His concurring aid, we shall succeed in this political building no better than the builders of Babel. We shall be divided by our little partial local interests. Our projects will be confounded, and we ourselves shall become a reproach and a byword down to future ages. And what is worse, mankind may hereafter from this unfortunate instance despair of establishing governments by human wisdom and leave it to chance, war, and conquest. I therefore beg leave to move that henceforth prayers imploring the assistance of heaven and its blessings on our deliberations be held in this assembly every morning before we proceed to business, and that one or more of the clergy of this city be requested to officiate in that service. The rest, as they say, was history, and they did pray. They did seek the counsel of God. So in this day, when we have bitter strife, arguing over our small local interests with great striving and debates, even riots in the streets, are we to assume that we can have answers without imploring the wisdom and the counsel of the very one who helped establish this nation, the great God Almighty, through the power of the name of His Son Jesus? No, it is through that imploring of His help and His aid that He is able to reach in, touch this United States, touch our people, touch our Congress and our government, and invest in us His very mercy, His wisdom, and His life. So today, I encourage you to seek the counsel of the Most High for your family, but also for this great land.